Okay, let me just make sure the mic is set up correctly. Nope, it's set to the wrong mic. One moment. That should be better. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. All right, perfect. And let's move the fan so we don't get the noise in the background. Okay, we'll start in a minute or two. Let me just share this around and get things set up. Again, I'm streaming at a time where most people are teaching their classes. So we might not get too many viewers, but generally people watch it in the replay, the recording in their own time. Okay, that should be ready now. Give me a second. Let me just shut the door. Perk of teaching online, shorts and sandals all day. All right, so let's get into it. I'm going to cover a few topics today, and I'm going to take some of the questions people have prepared in advance. All right, so let me set this up right. Okay, so now I've just turned off the mic for participants so it doesn't get noisy. So let me go through a few things. So let me go through some updates to the OTC website and what's coming soon, and then we'll get into questions like freelancing, finding jobs, and how I use AI in my online lessons. So let me share my screen here. Okay, so here are the topics we're going to go through today. Let me show a few updates coming to OTC very soon. So one of the big projects we're launching next week is, well, probably 2 weeks, because is the calendar app. And basically, the website isn't ready yet, so you can't sign up yet, but this website is basically a way for teachers to manage their schedule and organize their classes and get students to book in a convenient way by sharing a link that shows your availability, a place where students can message you, and a place where students can, see when their next class is. Just to keep things simple. The only alternative out there really is, well, the main one is Calendly, but it's more set up for business meetings than it is for regular ongoing weekly classes. So that's why we created Teacher Cal. So let me log in. So this version has no, oh wait, so we set up a fake teacher and we put some example classes. And basically, this is how it works. You set slots that you don't want as closed. You can add in classes where you've got students. You can put their student email so they're automatically updated reminded before a class. Students can message you. So here's an example message from Leo. How do you asking if I teach Oxford books? This is set up just to show you how it works. At the top here, you click copy student link. This will copy the link to your clipboard, and that's what you share with your student. And this is what it will look when they visit your schedule. What it will look like. So first, you can set any announcement that you would like your students to see. You can update that whenever you want. So if you're taking a holiday and you want to inform your students, no classes next week or anything like that, you can let your students know this is the place to see notices. Notices are automatically sent out in the email to all students. As you can see, the student just sees what's booked, what's closed, and what's open. You can even hide the booked options and turn it to closed so it appears, so your student doesn't know when you've got a booking and when you're just not wanting to teach. To make a booking, the student just has to click on it, put in their information, add whatever contact information they need or they want you to contact them by, and submit a request. For example, if they add their line ID or their WhatsApp, they can click it here and they can add it in the message box, or we can turn that off. Submit request, and then back on the teacher side, it should now display that there's a booking waiting to be confirmed. There we go. We got a pending request, and you can see where it is. So you also get an email every time a student wants to book a class, and then you can accept or decline it, and you can color code it if you want to color code your students to kind of help keep track of things. I'm going to decline it because it's not real. All right, so this is going to be released hopefully next week. It'll also track how much money you make, your income, and there's a ton of other features I'm not going to get into today because I don't want this to be a sales call for this application. There's going to be a free version of it as well as a paid version. So more info on this coming next week, and it will be released first to members of OTC. Okay, let's go to the news feed and see if there's any main questions I can answer. Let's see here. Okay, so we just got questions about what time it is. No questions to be answered on the live. So I can check a few more things and then we'll just get into the topics I want to cover today. Okay, and if you're jumping in and watching now, please comment if you have any questions. I'm just going to open the comments up now. My screen keeps loading. That's strange. Ratu, it seems that you've joined the stream multiple times, so you might want to close the additional tabs that are already open and just make sure it's open on only one tab, as that can cause an issue. Okay, so let's go through one of the questions I get a lot. Where do I apply? How do I find an online teaching job? So firstly, of course, I would recommend you come to Online Teachers Club, you register for free, and then you go to the jobs tab here. This is where you'll see the most recent opportunities. You can select the rate of pay that you're willing to accept. And then you can see opportunities offering this amount. This was shared yesterday, $24 to $27 an hour for this position. There's not much information about it. It's your responsibility to do your own research and make sure it's legitimate. But this seems like it's not a platform. It is just a small group of people who set up a small company, which honestly, for me personally, I would never work for a big company, but I would work for someone who's just, maybe got 10 or 20 students and they're just trying to find a teacher for them. But anyway, do your own research, see what this is about. So this is the first place you want to go. Go to jobs and scroll down and take a look at what opportunities are available. What you can do then is if you find a company you like Pinata Education, you can go to the company list and see if it's listed there. It might not be. I've not heard of this one. It might be quite a small one. Oh, it is. Okay, so you can see there's information here about the company. If you click here, it shows you positive things that teachers have said about it. And this is just basically, we have an AI that goes in and takes a summary of all the positive reviews on job review websites and summarizes it. And also for negative. So what the teachers say about this: concerns about inadequate support and resources, lack of communication from admin. These are kind of the common themes you see with online schools, especially the bigger ones. Disconnect between the school's advertised values and actual practices. That's annoying when that happens. But just because there's something negative that somebody's written about a company doesn't mean it might not be good for you. So, people have good and bad experiences with the same company. Some people love it. Some people, it's just not for them. It doesn't work. So do your own research. You want more information, click on the company. And we've got a blog we've written about each company that we found. And it just goes into information about them. And there's a link where you can apply if you want. It's not an affiliate link. As you can see, it just takes you straight to the website. No affiliate tag or anything. So we're not invested in if you apply or don't apply. We don't really care. We're just sharing opportunities. Okay, so that's the first place I recommend you go to find jobs. The second place is the company list. Let's go back to the home page. Now I'm going to offer you some external links that I use for finding opportunities. So OTC is great, but there's other places too. One of the old school websites where you can find lots of opportunities is eslcafe.com. Now they have a lot of opportunities for physical location jobs, but if you search for the tag online, you'll find all the online opportunities. So here, currently there's 14. They update quite often. The last one was on June 16, which is yesterday. Online business English teacher. So lots of people in this group say they would like to teach business English online. Check out Dave's ESL Cafe. If you don't find any opportunities within OTC, you might find something that was just posted here that works well for you. 13 to 15 per hour. They pay bi-monthly. Most companies pay monthly and sometimes delay to like the 10th or the 15th of the next month, which I hate. So this is an advantage. So yeah, there's another opportunity you can check out. So that's pretty much it. The only other place I'd recommend is going to other similar kind of ESL job websites or just general job websites. Like if there's any British teachers here, check out like websites like Indeed and search for online teaching opportunities. At the moment, there's lots of opportunities to work with government organizations that provide free lessons to immigrants and asylum seekers. And actually, the government spends a lot of money on that, and the teachers don't work for free. They get paid. It's just the person paying you is the government, not or a government organization. So there are lots of those opportunities I've seen recently. Most of them require you to be based in the UK, though. I've also seen opportunities like that on TESS. So if you are a teacher who works at international schools around the world, you've probably come across TESS. It's kind of the go-to place to apply to top-level international schools abroad. And but they also have online jobs. So you just search the keyword online or remote. Sometimes there's a few things, sometimes there's none. You got to keep coming back and checking. Okay, SEN, SEND online teacher. SEN is maths, English, and science. So yeah, some of these opportunities pay quite well, but they require you to be a fully accredited teacher. Some of them don't, though. So have a look through these as well. This is another place you can go to find positions. This one's online, but you've got to be based in an office. No, thank you. Okay, and again, many of these you have to be a British citizen to apply to. Lots of these, but not all of them. So yeah, do check carefully and see if there's anything for you. There's not, because this is international. It's not just schools in the UK. It's schools based around the world that need online teachers. So, but these ones, the main ones, these are government organizations that teach disadvantaged, at-risk learners and things like that. And you know, they're a charity or they have government funding, and that's how they pay you. Okay, so I hope that helps. I think I've covered most of the places to go to find positions. The next thing I would talk about is your resume. So a lot of teachers applying for positions send me like a 7-page resume and then like 13 different attachments of random things. Like, it's, when I see that, I usually just delete the email without reading it, because it's, when you're recruiting and you've got 1,000 applications to look through, you have a minute or two max to look through each one and to move them on to the next stage initially. So you want to have a one single page resume or CV. They're different things, but these days CV and resume is, the words are thrown around to mean the same thing these days. But yeah, a single page that at the top, a nice picture where you look professional. At the top, make sure you let them know your nationality, so you're not wasting your time and their time. A lot of companies have a requirement of nationality, and if you try and hide it, and then you get to like level 3 of the application and you've wasted like hours and days of your time and their time, and then they realize, oh, sorry, your nationality isn't accepted. So, and don't try and be sneaky and trying to think you can get in by hiding your nationality. I notice a lot of people try and do that. They don't include it on their resume. It doesn't work. Just be honest and get applied to companies that are looking for you, that you meet the requirements. So yeah, single page. I recommend Canva for making a resume. And don't follow the kind of old-fashioned business rules around resumes. You want something bright and colorful with all the basic information. So you can go and search for templates, and you can choose one and then just update your information. All these are good. See, single page with all the information in about you, colorful, nice, bold headings, easy to follow. I'm getting some in Thai language here as I'm based in Thailand. But yeah. So I would make your resume on Canva. Make sure it's one page. It's got your name at the top, your nationality, your teaching experience, your qualifications, short summaries, one sentence for, like, if you're posting 5 different job experiences that you've had, don't post every single thing you've done. Like, don't post that when I was 15 years old, I worked part-time in a bar. Like, it's not really, only post things that are relevant to the position of online teaching. They don't care about anything else. So if you've got 4 or 5 recent positions that you've been in and an explanation of when you were working there and a short 1 or 2 sentence explanation of what you did, that's all you need. At the top, I'd show you my resume, but it's got kind of personal information on it I don't want to share. But yeah, important, have a picture on your resume. Now, for other industries, this isn't a requirement, and someday you're not supposed to discriminate based on appearance, but companies do. So you might as well put your best looking picture there to start with, so you don't waste your time with companies that will judge you based on your appearance. Don't try and hide it. Often companies will just ignore applications that don't come with a photo. They just want to see that you're well groomed and you look professional and you know how to take a picture with a nice bright background and good lighting, and you're not in a dark, shady closet somewhere. They want you to be presenting well when you're teaching for the company. So that's why they ask for a picture. So yeah, the second thing you need after a resume, there's only 2 things you need to get lots of jobs. 1 is a resume. 2 is an introduction video. And I would say be really, really, be really detailed when you're making your introduction video. I mean, and focus on all the small details. Make sure it's under 3 minutes and it describes what you're offering. This is mine. We can watch it quickly so you can get an idea. I'm going to be updating this soon, as it was made, I think, about 3 or 4 years ago. But it's still, this video has brought me thousands of students, for not just for me, but also for the teachers that work for me. And it's not just a video talking to a webcam. It's got B-roll. It's got different scenes doing different things. It's short and to the point. It has nice big subtitles for those who are not a first language speaker of English. So I'm not sure if it'll play with my sharing my screen like this. Let me know if you can hear the audio. All right, let me share it again so you can hear it.
สวัสดีครับผมชื่อเฟซครับผมเป็นครูสอนภา
The
ษาอัง
reason
ก
I
ฤษ
speak Thai in the
แล้วก็
start of it
ผมเป็น
is
คนอังกฤษ
this was
ด้วยครับ
initially made for my
I've been
italki
teaching English
application,
all around
and italki
Asia
wants
and
people who speak
online for the
multiple
last
languages.
10 years. I have students
That's why
from
that's at the
Thailand,
start.
China,
It also
Korea,
looks good for
Japan, the Middle East,
if you do
Turkey,
speak multiple
and even
languages,
Europe.
students
I'm a
see
fully
that, okay, he
qualified
has an
English
idea
teacher.
of the
I
process of learning
graduated
a
from
language.
Paris College of International
Teachers who only
Education
speak
with a
one language
bachelor's in
don't have that kind of
education, and
experience.
my major was in teaching English to speakers of other languages. I also hold a 120-hour TESOL certificate and an IELTS teaching qualification. While teaching in Asia, I got the chance to learn about all the different languages over in Asia. This gave me a better understanding of what students struggle with when it comes to pronunciation, grammar, and sentence structure. A lot of the issues speakers of other languages have when they learn English all comes from mother tongue interference. This is when your first language interferes with the language that you're learning. It can affect your pronunciation, your grammar, and the way you structure your sentences. I can teach you how to use your mouth, throat, tongue,
it's very
and your
easy to
whole
film
sound
this. It's not as
system
hard as you
so
think.
that
You
you
can do it
sound
with a
more
phone.
like a
You just have
native
to
when
make
you
sure the
speak
lighting
English.
is
I offer
good.
three
If
main
you haven't
types
got
of
big
classes:
lighting equipment,
conversational
you can,
English for adults,
just make sure you've got the
conversational
windows
English,
open on a bright day and the camera's
phonics,
placed in
and
the
all
right
the
angle.
major skills: listening, speaking, and reading.
But yeah, this
for
is one of the
kids.
most. This is
And I
more important
also
than
help
your
students prepare for
actual
their
teaching
IELTS
ability.
and TOEFL examinations. I offer individual one-off lessons
Like if
and
you can't
also
get the students
20-hour
initially,
courses.
it doesn't
My
matter how good
courses
of a
have a
teacher you
clear
are.
goal
So having a
and
really
are structured
well-made
with
resume,
different topics
an
set out
introduction
for the
video.
whole 20 hours.
If
We
you
will
want
also
to
have
if you
progress
want to get your own
reports every
students,
5 or 10
or if you want
lessons.
companies
For
to see you
conversational
and instantly
classes,
say
I
you want
will
this
ask
teacher,
you lots of different questions
you
on
need to take it
lots
to
of
the next
different
level and
topics.
do something
You can
better
also
than what
choose and
everyone else
suggest
sends.
topics that you wish to discuss. I'll listen very carefully when you're speaking, and
Most
at the end
teachers
I will
spend
offer you lots
5
of
minutes
corrections
making a
and
talking to the camera,
ideas
and
on
then
how
they
to
send
improve
it.
the way that you speak.
So
For
if you
kids
have something
classes,
that's a
I
bit
have
better than that, you're
a
going to
patient,
stand out.
relaxed, and fun teaching style. I like to use lots of props and games and role play in my lessons, and I think it's important that they're having fun while they're in my class, as it's proven that children learn best when they're having.
I realized I should probably pause this when I'm speaking because you're hearing two voices. Sorry about that. Let's watch the last part and then I'll move on to the next topic.
Having fun and enjoying the class. For my IELTS classes, I can run through mock tests and I can give you detailed feedback on what you need to do to achieve the score and the band that you want in your IELTS examination. Many of my students have achieved 7 and 7.5 and higher in their IELTS exams. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you in one of my classes very soon. Have an awesome day. Goodbye.
Okay, so that's the video that has got me hundreds of students over the last 3 years. Both from me personally, and I've even got leads through that video that I've able to pass on to another teacher for a commission. So really, if you want to be a freelance teacher, your most important thing, intro video, really good resume. Resume is not too important for freelancing. It's more important when you're applying for companies, because students generally don't care what degree you've got or what other things like that. They care to an extent, but if you've got a really good video that shows you're a competent teacher, they're not going to really care about your resume. So that's the most important thing. So you might as well spend more than 10 minutes making it. Spend a couple days researching, filming B-roll, maybe going to a coffee shop and filming something, maybe film something walking in your local area. Like, make it more interesting and eye-catching than everybody else's, and you'll get more students. All right, so let me go back to the original post I did. Let's see if there's any questions. Okay, so we talked about freelancing a little bit. I'm not going to go in depth in these videos, as I just had a break between two calls with clients today, so I thought I'd schedule in a live. Let's talk about using AI in lessons. This is something, I probably shouldn't share this because it's something that's made me a lot of money at the moment. Parents are very concerned with the way the world's going with regards to AI and automation. And parents that are really proactive in their children's education really understand that in the future, there are going to be certain jobs that are obsolete, and that people who don't understand AI and how it works and have some knowledge around it are going to fall behind people who do. So this is a really trending topic for to be teaching. So how I do it is I teach AI, but I teach it through the guise of teaching English. Just the same way that some people, some schools will run like STEM, like biology, science, maths, but in English to students of second. So they're improving their English while they're learning about a subject matter at the same time. And that's how I set out my AI lessons. So I'll show you one of the fun activities we do. We generate Pokemon cards. So I use Canva as my teaching tool for almost all of my classes. I'm either using the whiteboard or I'm using things that I've prepared and made in there. So one of the projects I have is a 6-week course that a group of students takes, 6 students per class. And by the end of the 6 weeks, they've all designed their own Pokemon card with AI. So they have to come up with the name, all the attacks. They have to generate the background and the pictures with AI. So this is good for teaching use of adjectives, because to generate a good image with AI, you've got to write a well-written prompt with lots of adjectives and description. So they're improving their adjective skills while doing something fun and learning about AI generation. Okay, and they come up with attacks and everything. And we spread it out to 5 weeks, 5 1-hour classes. And the way we do that is they'll have, one lesson will be learning about how AI art generation works. One lesson will be practicing. A third lesson will be coming up with the design for the background. Another lesson, design for the character. And then the last lesson, they'll plan out the entire card and make it together. Now, depending on the level of the student, for lower level students, I'll design the card for them. They just have to come up with the prompts and the ideas. For more advanced students who have more computer skills, we share the file with them so they can access all these kind of assets and things as well. So that's one way I use AI for teaching, and it's a load of fun. Another way is we create our own books. Pokemon is kind of becoming trending again. So another course, this is like a 10 or 12-week course, and they create their entire book with the help of AI. They have to come up with the title, the beginning, the middle, and the end, a problem and a solution within the story. They have to write the blurb. They have to get an idea of how a book is structured. And then they write the story themselves, but we use AI to jazz it up and to improve their writing. And they have to generate each picture. So after they've generated the text, they have to read each picture, and then they have to write a prompt for they have to read each page, and then they have to write a prompt for what image they would like to have on that page. So it's practicing, they're using their imagination, they're improving their sentence structure and their use of adjectives again when writing prompts. And they're learning about AI and how it works for both image and text generation. So we have some units that go into more depth about exactly how large language models work and things like that. So this is a super fun project. And I've probably done this like 50 times now with different students. As you can see, there's so many different books. We have a simpler one for lower level. They don't make a full book. They make a single page comics. So they have to just think of prompts for 4 different pictures. And then they have to present and tell a story. This is about a story that a rabbit ate a rabbit, got sick, went to a witch. the witch put a curse on the rabbit and made it a giant rabbit. It's a silly story, but it just helps the kids use their imagination, and it's really fun. Here's one about Mewtwo finding a magic carrot. Here's about a wizard with a broken wand that blows up his house. Here's about a daily routine of going to school. So even younger level students can still do some basic things with AI. The teaching app here is canva.com. And for AI art generation, I use ChatGPT most of the time. Sometimes I use Gemini. And sometimes I use Copilot. But most of the time I use ChatGPT. I have the pro account. It's $20 a month. So I get unlimited. Well, I get a lot more generations than a normal account. All right. Running out of time a little bit. So I could go on and on for hours. There's another 20, 30 different ways that I use AI, that I set up courses in AI. And they're all advertised as fun courses, extracurricular activity type things. We do one, designing your Pokemon card with AI. We even do designing your video game. Let me show you this. So one of the more advanced courses I teach is coding with AI. So they don't actually have to code themselves, but it's prompt coding. It's called vibe coding, and it's where you code without being able to code, just by prompting an AI to generate the code bit by bit, reviewing what it's made and telling it what changes you want to make, and then going back and forth like that until you get a game that you like. So here's one that my student made. I just put it in the back end of my WordPress website. It's easy, but you could host it on something like Firebase or any kind of website. This is so your student can access the game from their house once they've made it. So it's published on the web. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for folders. Where's it gone? File manager. Okay. Okay. And we also generate music. So let's play the game. And the student also came up with prompts to generate music for the game too, to play it. Okay. So this is a game by a student called Luke. It's called Knights versus Zombies. Let's see how it is. Okay, so basically it's a game where you have to kill zombies and go through the dark to the next level. And he came up with all the idea that some zombies have one life, some zombies have a good life. What through the hollow trees, so his voice echoes like a ghostly breeze. They last sparks in a twisted frame. This is Luke's crazy zombie game. Rise undead from the ground, and it has background music that we generated with AI too. This is crazy zombie game. So this is the technique cost, and you can find all the images, how many images on the game. Came up with the rules of the game, and the levels we wanted, what happens when you do different things. For example, when you hit a zombie, with one point you die and you collect When you get 20 coins, you get a fireball. Now it's Luke's crazy zombie game. And I think when you get 30, you get a weapon called Fire Rain. Rain Fire. Flies undead from the ground so deep. Teacher's words are where the shadows creep. Madness reigns with no one to tame. This is Luke's crazy zombie game. Okay, now I have Fire Rain. So it's a fun game. And it has a boss at the end. You're probably going to die. It's quite a challenging game, and what is easy to make this? there was a lot of kind of trial and error. What works, and then there's no code. All they have to do is the AI to code it. They have to describe the game in fine detail, which is the hardest part, the planning stage. Sorry about that. I didn't realize the music was so loud. So let me just review what I was saying. Basically, this is a zombie game that my student generated as part of a 12-week project, 12 classes. And probably the first 6 weeks was just planning. So we would plan together. We'd design, one lesson would just be on designing gaming assets, such as the characters and the background and the coin animations and things like that. Then another lesson would be planning the functions of the game. What happens when you press what key? How fast does the zombie move? How fast do the enemies move up and down? And then there'd be, once by week 6, we've got a solid plan. Then we start making the game. So they'll also be drawing out what they want the game to look like as well. So we can send the pictures to AI. And at the end, we just tell the AI to make a game. So, for example, you say something like this: code a version of Snake in HTML, JavaScript, and CSS in a single HTML file. Make it a simple and fully functional game. And instead of a snake character, it should be a slice of pizza. Use a pizza emoji as the character. The game should be fully functional and run from a single HTML file. Okay, so that prompt wasn't even very good, but it will still come up with the game. So it's coding it. All we have to do is copy the code into a file and then upload it to a server, and the game will be ready. Let's see if it works. So this is one of the funner projects I do with older students. They need to have a good command of English to be able to play this. But the parents love it. They pay premium for these courses because they're specialist. And they're very popular courses. I have one course with 8 students. I charge $18 per student. So that's over $130, $140 per hour I get. So let me have a look here. All right. So if you want to, once you get the code, the easiest way to do it is just open like a text document. And paste all the game files in it and then save it as a HTML file. So you just put .html, save it to my desktop, and it should appear as a game now somewhere. Here it is, Snake Pizza Game. So now you can just open and run it. And it didn't work. It's saying game over right from the start. So this is the thing with coding AI. If you give it a bad prompt, it won't always work. But it doesn't matter because you can go back to the previous prompt that you made and you can ask it to fix the game. You can tell it what's wrong. The game loads and already says game over before the game has even started. So there's obviously some kind of bug. But all you have to do to fix it is tell the AI what's wrong, and it'll try and code it again. And it's just back and forth, trial and error, until you get the game that you like. So, yeah, I think we'll leave it there today if there's no more questions. So today we talked about getting hired, the places you can find teaching opportunities, why a resume, and more importantly, an introduction video is super important when you're trying to attract students, and why AI is trending. And if you want to be part of the future, you should spend some time taking some courses on AI, learning how to use it, and then start teaching courses on it. And I'm not even that bothered about telling you, because you will then become competition. But at the same time, the market is so huge. I don't worry about it. The market is so huge. There's enough room for everybody. And I don't know. I'm kind of confident that I can do it better than other people. So I don't mean to be kind of big-headed, but I know what students like, and I know what courses sell. And I've been doing this for almost 12, 13 years now. All right. So apologies for the music. And best of luck. Please check out OTC and all the resources there. Calendar app will be released next week or the week after. And then we have 5 or 10 different projects that'll be released gradually over every 2 or 3 weeks. And eventually, once everything's released, we will release a subscription plan where you get access to everything for like $10 a month instead of paying, $10 for a calendar app, $10 for a teaching website, $18 for a courseware material app, or whatever, $5 for a booking system. So you have to pay for lots of different apps. We're building out all these apps, and we're working with partners to include their app in our package. And probably 3 to 6 months from now, we will have a really good subscription offer that'll be so much value that it'll be well worth $10 a month. All right, guys, have an awesome day. And OTC, again, it will always be free, but we will have some paid options coming in the future, but nothing will be taken away and hidden behind a paywall. Everything that's available now for free will always be free. All right, guys, have an awesome day, and best of luck in your online teaching career.